Welcome back to the JP and Trav show on the JP and Trav YouTube channel. As always, it's your host with the most, JP. And to I have my esteemed co-host, brother, friend, Travis J. Davison. Travis, how you feeling, brother?
Man, good. Although, didn't sleep all that great last night. Actually, Gunny shot me a message, asked me what the heck I was doing up because he's an overnight guy. Anyways, didn't sleep too hot last night. So excited to get a good night's rest tonight. But first, we got to talk some OU football. How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, brother. So I'm trying to get my stuff set up here. I got school starting tomorrow. We had a back to school night tonight, and so that's why I'm still in the office and ready to roll tonight. Man, fall camp has begun. I'm super excited about this year, and we're so close. We're so close to the beginning of football season. And man, we got the Hall of Fame game going on tonight, and man, it's here. It's here.
I know. I hadn't been watching that. I saw a 17-7 score pop up. I'm not sure what the score is now or how Caleb looks, but in the battle of young quarterbacks, CJ's pretty dang good. So Caleb was going to have a tough time, matching him at least in his first preseason start ever in the NFL. Caleb isn't playing? Oh, nonsense. Well, we got a missing person, Caden Helms.
What?
Already? People picking on Caden Helms already? What's going on here?
He missing? He went at camp or something? I missed one.
I saw him put pictures up from his on his Instagram from him and Nick. So who knows? But Caleb not playing preseason is crazy. I mean, that's crazy. So I'm just so glad you carved out a little time for us the night before school starts and you're the AD. That's big time right there.
Hey, I got everything, got all my ducks in a row, man. I got, answered questions tonight, kissed baby, shook hands, whatever I needed to do. Also engage on arguments on Twitter like your boy always is. So,
Yeah, it's I'll tell you what, it was fun going on with Ghost and Kyle and Robert and them. Yeah. It's just it's so funny how we can be so cordial to each other and just share opinions about the team and whatnot. And I post or he posts one of the clips from it, and of course Texas fans are calling me a clown and all these different names. I'm like, this is what cracks me up. I'm like, we have friends in other fan bases that can talk like adults, and then you got all these dudes just hopping in the replies, talking like madmen. But no, I'm actually eating. I got kind of like a trail mix type situation going on from the Summit Club that I brought home on Monday, and then I'll have some beef jerky here in a little bit. But you know me, I'm always snacking. Always snacking. So I got some water here. Stay hydrated. It's hot out here, man. It was 112 heat index today.
Whew. Man, it's a little humid up here. It rained and it didn't. The rain didn't make it cooler. Unfortunately, it made a little bit more humid. And it's not fun.
It rained this morning 5:30. Cats and dogs for about 15 minutes, and then nothing but hot. Feeling hot. Dun, 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 dun. But which one to start with, buddy?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start, man, with fall camp. We might as well, talk about obviously, some things we've been hearing. We heard Branson Hickman, and we got to hear a little bit. David Nick Williams speak today. Parker got to talk to them. So it was cool to just hear some of those new guys. But what are we expecting out of fall camp, Trav? Let me know what do we think? We're excited that it's back. I know that.
Well, I think most importantly, I mean, I think the chat would probably agree, and I kind of want to get the chat's opinion on this. Appreciate you guys for jumping in this early. What do you think the biggest question is that needs to be sorted out in camp? You can't use my answer though. Starting offensive line, get it worked out. I don't want to wait until week 8. We can get it figured out. I mean, obviously, Branson Hickman was named to the Outland Trophy watch list. I believe Jackson was named to the Maxwell watch list, Bronco Nagurski watch list for Bowman and Stutzman. Stutzman, obviously, a Butkus watch list, Thorpe watch list for Billy Bowman. So you're starting to see some of that. You know, you need the narrative. You need to be on that watch list. You need to be an early name in it if you want to contend for it late. Preston asks who's starting a right tackle. I was kind of like sort out the starting offensive line. I think Jake Taylor's your right tackle. I think you've got the Jakes as your bookends, personally. I think you have Michael Tarquin, who can play right or left tackle in a pinch. He can help out. I think you got Weiwu. I think you got Hickman, and then I think you've got probably Hatchett. So that's what I see. But I don't know. It's up to the best offensive line coach in the country to figure it out. So some of the other, questions. I mean, a couple people went after the right tackle position. This is interesting. Where will Kanik fall on the depth chart? I mean, he's still insanely athletic. He's now battling, obviously, Kip Lewis for that, starting position. Kobe McKenzie for that starting position next to Danny. I don't know. I think he's going to get a lot of run. You need an athlete like that in the SEC, a guy that can get side to side like that. If he can use this camp to get, make sure he's always in the right position, or at least most of the time in the right position. And Danny being fully realized as the Brent Venables leader on defense, like he will help that whole room make sure that they're doing what they're doing. So, Kanik, what are your thoughts on Kanik, JP?
Man, we've known that. I guess I'm interested to see where they put him. If Kip takes his spot, do you still feel like, hey, he's a valuable athlete to have out on the field? Do you put him in some pass rushing packages? Because I think he's shown a lot of flashes as a pass rusher, being able to rush the quarterback. Yet zone drops and man-to-man coverage a lot of times are not his forte. And so has he gotten better at that? I don't know. We can see. But certainly Kip seems to be more in that mode. But if Kip can do all three, then it's going to be hard for Jaren to see the field, except for in special blitz packages, or obviously maybe to come in to spell him. But I mean, even having a guy like Kanik as depth, I think is really good.
Yeah, and I think that Brent Venables is happy with his backer room for the first time since he's been back at Oklahoma. I think he's comfortable. I mean, think of the drop-off, what it was when he first got here. You know what I mean? Like, past those first dudes, it was real thin. So now having that competitive depth that we heard about that's been developed, I think he'd be comfortable putting Kanik in. You know what I mean? I think he'd be comfortable rotating Kobe in. He'd be comfortable rotating Lewis Carter in and Samuel Masigo and maybe Big Phil. Like, I think he's really happy with the linebacker room, and you got Zach Alley, and Skalski there, just continuing to develop that room. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that Dusty got caught on a hot mic talking about Kanik because so much of the fan base is just going to take that and run to the bank with it and say, well, hot mic, Dusty said Kanik, can't be out there. Then Kanik must not be able to be out there all season, which is silly. So,
yeah.
Who do you? Preston asked what Woody's role is. Who do you see as kind of the starting corners?
I mean, obviously Gentry, and I would imagine, and I've been so swamped into getting ready for school. I've been able to really read a lot of stuff coming out. If there has been anything, I mean, is there talk that Woody would not potentially solidify that other spot?
I know early on they were talking about moving him around a little bit,
Okay.
playing him in other positions. I think he starts. Kendall Dolby, obviously a name to watch. I think they're going to play him a ton at Cheetah. He played really well last year.
And Walker.
The interesting thing is, like, Kendall Dolby's really good in the college football 25, the video game. It's just funny to me. Like, I don't think Brent Venables is the type, but do you think there's a coach around the country that will look at that and be like, hey, maybe I should play this guy more? You know what I mean? Like, just based on what they've scouted him at and what the basically AI does with his own players, I think it could be possible.
Yeah. Gunny asks if Teddy has any eligibility left.
Hey, man, he still looks like he could play.
Yeah, I like where the linebacker room is. The linebacker room is.
I would agree.
It's hard to be upset about where it's at, and hoping that the depth that we have, just makes us an elite defense more and more.
Yeah, oh man, sometimes so in the past I haven't been able to I haven't been logged in to the admin one until I hosted that one time without JP. So when I click on ones, like this, I forget that it stops it. Like it stops the scroll, the comments. I just scrolled down. I didn't realize everybody was blowing up the chat. So I got to get caught up. But
smash that like button, though.
Let's see. Gunny with the ever popular text. Big OU fan. Who's going to be the starting quarterback? You always have somebody call in or text in and say, "Hey, big time Sooner fan. What time's the game this week?" And they always do it on the bye week. Big time Sooner fan though. But I don't know. Preston's high on Dez. We'll see. I like Dez. I'm not sure if he's just a lockdown corner immediately. I think the closest we have to that is Gentry, and he at times showed it last year, but he got beat from time to time too. Dez will play a ton, no doubt, but I'm not ready to give him the crown of lockdown corner. I'm not sure we're talking about Dez Island quite yet.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know much about. I mean, obviously, was excited when we picked him up, but all I know is in college football 25, my dynasty, he been getting cooked. So it better not happen in the actual game, okay? Because I'd be like, hey, bro, we wasn't even press coverage. You supposed to drop, and you pressed, and then you got beat off the line. Like, what's going on? Why is he wide open?
Dez is getting cooked on your dynasty, huh?
Yes, man. I was like, no, I want Dolby. Put Dolby in there, bro. Like that's what I was doing. But I'm sure the real Des Malone is better than that. So,
man, I hope so. But yeah, I think there's an absolute possibility of that happening. But oh, that is a fantastic comment. Who is your fall camp breakout player award since Marcus Major is finally gone and he always won that? That is the end of an era on this program. JP is talking about Marcus Major. End of an era.
What an era it was.
What an era it was on this show. Let's see. So if it's got to be the Marcus Major, like, here's the thing. If I say who's going to be the fall camp breakout player like Marcus Major, I don't want to mean that to say who's going to be the fall camp breakout player but not actually break out in the season. I'm trying to think positionally how it's going to go, because you have to have your opportunities in fall in order to break out. And a lot of the rooms are just very crowded. Pretty much, like, I don't know, most positions on defense are pretty settled. I guess we'll see if they move Woody off corner, but I think most things are pretty settled. Give me Reggie Powers as a guy that is going to be a name you hear a ton about in fall camp. He came in with incredible size. He looks SEC ready. Yeah. He's rushed the passer. He's played in coverage. He's done everything. And he's looked good. So, yeah, Preston, I get you're a Des Malone guy, but we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. I hope you're right. I hope Des is an absolute baller for us, but I don't know. I'm not willing to dub him lockdown corner until he can go into the SEC and actually lock down wide receivers in the SEC.
Yeah, the Mountain West is a little bit different than the SEC.
It's different than the Big 12.
Yes, it is. Are we worried about running back this year? Preston asked after last season. We went to the season saying that the room was fantastic, and it was mid last year. I think that if Gavin hadn't solidified, in my opinion, Trav, and you can jump in on this too. If Gavin hadn't solidified himself like the way he did last year over the stretch of games he did, then I think maybe I'll be more concerned. But I feel like going into last year, we said like Javonte and Gavin, but that was because Javonte and Gavin looked the way they did against Florida State, and Javonte had a couple decent games as well at the end of the 2022 season, but then he got hurt, and that changed a lot of stuff, right? So I think Gavin being healthy and doing what he did at the end of last season over a 6-game period, I think lends itself to feeling like, okay, he's for sure the guy. We know that going in, and we know what he brings to the table, and that hopefully, Javonte can be healthy enough, or Caleb Hicks can obviously step in. He looked good in the spring game. Troy Franklin as well. But go ahead, Trav.
Yeah. The name of the game with the entire team, really, but the name of the game with the running backs that's all it is. It's health. We talked about this last year. Marcus Major missed time with injury. Gavin Sawchuk missed time with injury. Javonte Barnes missed time with injury. He was injured the entire season. And Tawi Walker missed time with injury. Like, we were completely snake bit at the position last year. And if they can just stay healthy, you've added the number one running back in the country in Taylor Tatum. He's a guy that's going to make noise in camp. Javonte is finally fully healthy from an injury that he was dealing with since high school. So you've got him. Gavin is obviously the leader in the clubhouse as far as RB1 goes. I mean, went on a tear to finish the season. I think that I feel much better going into this year with the running backs than I did last year, because they were still so much younger, right? And you add Sam Franklin to the bunch, you've got some guys that have seen the field. And really, if I'd known Javonte was doing, I mean, he had that procedure late, like right before the season. So it was like you were really rolling into the season last year with Marcus Major being your most seasoned back, and then walk on Tawi Walker. And that's about it because Gavin and Javonte were both hurt. So I'm much more confident this year with the running back group, and I don't think it was that bad last year. I just think they were hurt, like through no fault of their own.
Right. And we got it rolling towards the end of the year, which I think is what matters the most, right? We got it rolling, and hopefully, offensive line, if they can mesh, I think is going to be a big piece of that, right? In what the running game looks like, and obviously Seth Luttrell, I think, in what he has to say about his running schemes, and him and Bill Bebo obviously have worked together in the past. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like.
And they're going to run the ball like with a good defense, a defense that I think is going to be top 3 in the SEC.
Yeah.
Like with a good defense and a first-year quarterback, expect them to run the ball a bunch. You don't want a situation where you're having your first-year quarterback put it all on his shoulders to go back there and drop back and pass, 3 times in a row to start possession, and you might kick the ball back to the defense right away. You know what I mean? They're going to lean on the run game a lot, especially as Jackson kind of gets his bearings a little bit, gets used to reading defenses and things like that.
Yeah. 100%. Let's talk about Jackson a little bit. I mean, how are you feeling about where QB1 is?
I feel great about him. I feel like he's going to be really good. He's got all the arm talent in the world, and he's got weapons galore that he can take advantage of. And that's the thing is all y'all know my love for Dylan. Dylan knows my love for Dylan. But there are some throws that Jackson can make, I think, that will make Brennan more of a weapon, that might make Jay Gibb more of a weapon, that might make Deion Burks a big weapon. You know what I mean? Like, I think he has the opportunity to unlock the potential of a lot of guys, and I think he's ready for it. I think they've hammered the reading the defenses, making decisions easy for him. And as long as offensive line gives him time, he should be fine. Now, I'm not saying he's winning the Heisman this year because that would be a bit egregious. I'll leave that to other fan bases. But I don't know. I think that Jackson's going to have a really good year. I think he's going to be a top 5, 6 quarterback in the SEC in year one, which first year as a starter, can't ask for much more than that reasonably. But yeah, I feel good about him. What do you
think? I think that Jackson, man, if he had the type of summer it sounds like he had, there's no reason to believe that we don't win 9 to 10 games on top of what our defense, we feel like our defense is going to be, and I don't think, again, I know it's crazy to say that winning 9 games with the schedule we have, I don't think is bad. Like I think it will put us in prime position to make a playoff. I think, we talked about all these other years, the SEC bias, and we have to just, I guess, trust that would lend its ear to us this year, like because of the type of schedule that we have, and that if we go and maybe we do lose to Auburn in our first road game. Let's just say that, and maybe we do lose to Alabama at home, and maybe there's another toss-up game. But beating Tennessee, beating Missouri, beating LSU in Baton Rouge, beating Ole Miss, like those things will matter. Because a lot of those teams will be ranked and highly ranked, and people believe they're very good teams. So I think that winning 9 or 10 games in this year is very good. If we win 11 games, it's elite.
If you win 9 games, and say the top 3 ranked teams are Alabama, LSU, and Texas, like that means you beat ranked Mizzou, probably ranked Tennessee, ranked Ole Miss, at Auburn. Like you've still got good wins in there. So obviously South Carolina, like you would have quality wins. You would go 5-3 in the SEC in your first year. Would not be bad at all with some quality wins. Yeah. Oh God, there's that word, that grind word again. Tell you what, man. That you don't let your guard down in the SEC. You just simply don't. OU walked into every game in the Big 12 with more talent, except for maybe the Texas game where it was pretty much even. Walked in with more talent, and it's just human nature to let down a little bit, let your guard down when you know you're more talented than the other team. You're not going to have that here, and the coaches are going to make sure of it for sure. It's going to be a different mentality. I know it.
Yeah. Has to be. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess, truthfully.
Yeah. The OL being the biggest question. Yeah, of course it is. You know, I mean, you've got so many bodies and a lot of experience. Like they just need to gel, and that's it. And luckily, we don't start with a Michigan. We don't start with, a Bama or something like that. Let them ease into it a little bit. That Tulane game ain't going to be no slouch, but let them ease into it. But lock up your starting rotation.
Yeah.
I would expect it to basically be locked up already, to be honest. I think you can have questions at right guard, between Hatchett and maybe Ozeta.
Yeah.
And then right tackle, I guess it would probably be Tarquin or Taylor. I like Taylor in that. But, yeah, I feel like if they've got that sorted out, and I know that Teddy and Gabe brought up Josh Bates, saying, is Josh Bates pushing Branson Hickman more than we're thinking? I hope so.
Yeah.
Competition's good, right? But I don't know. I think Branson Hickman, he's got the experience. It sounds like him and Jackson have kind of been working together as kind of the presumed starter. I mean, that's a guy, again, he's on the Outland Trophy watch list. So if this is a thing where you keep Bates behind him, ready to go, I say you roll Hickman out there, but Bates has got a bright future. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's on transfer watch or anything. You know what I mean? But I think he's center 2 right now. But I think we're gonna have a pretty solid offensive line. Like I legitimately do. And you've got a really good left tackle in Jake Sexton.
Listen.
Like a really good left tackle.
Listen. For real, I know people talk to we talk about Bill Beatonbaugh all the time in the show. We're big Bill Beatonbaugh stands. Okay, Trav knows him personally, so it's just you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I think with everything that was said this offseason, if we go in here and we have a good offensive line, people need to be called to task. People need to be called to task, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, early returns on EPL have been good. So maybe he's a guy that can be a little Caden Green type situation where he can play early, maybe some spot duty if there's, God forbid, an injury, things like that. They just have a nice mix of experience, depth, and then high upside guys like BJ Brooks and EPL.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I need to do like a Spider-Man thing because there's a guy named JP in the comments, and it's not me, which is cool. But then, Steven, are you asking this to me, or are you asking this to the JP in the comments? Because to me, we talked about Jane Gibson ad nauseum on this show, and we talked about it last week. And I think that Jane Gibson is primed to obviously take that big step. If you want to say Brendan Thompson, if you want to say Jaquez Petaway, you can. I mean, there's so many options, right? I mean, you have freshmen and Kearney and Ragens that certainly have opportunities. Do I think that means that they're going to pop out here and show out in their true freshman year? I don't know. I mean, we have to see. But, I mean, I would say that Gibson, obviously, Thompson and Petaway are the three that would jump out to me as that's prime opportunity for them.
Yeah, I mean, when you remember last year at the TU game when, obviously Nick had his big day, but you saw them roll out there with, I don't know, is there a name for the duo? Like, I mean, they're two really tall wide receivers that kept on being in every formation together, but I think the best looking, like most daunting, if you're a defensive backfield, the most daunting trio would be Burks, Anderson, and Gibson. Because you got speed galore, you got size on the outside, you got any route you want on the inside. I mean, that if I had to pick a trio to go week one, that's what I'm putting out there. Yeah. I'm putting Gibson, Anderson, and Deion Burks out there. Assuming Deion Burks is not suspended for the first series.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
But it's like you said, if those guys get back healthy, it's going to be tough to see like what happens with a Jaquez Petaway or a Kearney or any of these guys because they're uber talented. I mean, Petaway's going to get some burn. Like it might be him behind Burks in the slot. Like he's going to get burned. He earned it last year, and I don't know. I just think that I think that if you got a 6'5" guy and a 6'4" guy and a guy that might be the fastest dude on the team outside of Brendan Thompson, you're in good shape.
And who, Jane Gibson?
Yeah, Gibson, Anderson, and Burks. What is Andrell's timeline? And there's not even an arguably OU's best wide receiver. He was absolutely OU's best wide receiver last season before he went down.
Not arguably.
Yeah, he was. He was absolutely the best. So he was putting up some big numbers, and big third down catches, tough catches. He was the one out there getting open. So, anyways, I haven't heard much on the injury. I know. I don't think setback is a word that I would feel comfortable using. I don't think he's going to be back as soon as maybe they had anticipated when the injury happened. Right. But that's not to say he won't be back very soon. So once we get into the meat of the schedule, I have no reason to believe that Andrell Anthony will not be on the field.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
What a treat it will be to have him back.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's keep it rolling with the questions. Any question you guys have in general about fall camp? Anything. Let's
I'm gonna have a little bite. I've been eating some snack mix. I need something a little more sustenance.
Hey.
So we got Righteous Felon. This one is the Bourbon Franklin beef jerky. An American Dream of bourbon and vanilla bean. Fantastic. 20 grams of protein per pack. All natural. Good stuff. You can use my promo code Travis. It's delicious stuff. I actually got an email from them today, and I'll be stocking back up, with some more jerky because I'll be going through it. I tell you. So check out righteousfelon.com. Use the promo code Travis. I mean, beef jerky lasts forever. Go ahead and buy some, put it away for Christmas. Because I know when you buy it and you put it away for Christmas, especially like Gunny, he's going to get the munchies one night and just tear it all open, and they'll have to order more. But it's delicious stuff. It's not the real gummy stuff like you get in other spots. I mean, look at that. That's beautiful. Good stuff.
I still need to order some. I haven't ordered some yet. I need to.
Yeah, you need to eat some protein while you're running around that school.
Shoot, tell me. Let's see. Who's returning kicks and punts? I don't know. Do we know that?
Peyton Bowen said that he was working back there.
I would love that. That would be amazing. Truly.
That would be awesome.
Truly amazing. It would be. When is the first scrimmage? Is it this weekend? Or are they waiting until next week?
No. Jake Taylor's dad told me that, and I completely forgot. No, it's not first week. I don't think they do scrimmage first week.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into it. Who else would you like to see on the return game, JP? If you got to pick?
I mean, I'd love to see Dion back there. I know they're not going to do that, but I would love to see Dion back there.
They might.
They could. I just know how valuable he is to the offense as well. But man, seeing him back there, I mean, do you put, knowing the speed that supposedly Zion Ragins has, do you give him an opportunity, even as a true freshman, to be back there and return some kicks? I mean, I guess they did put Jalil back there before, so I guess they could put Dion back there.
Which was kind of weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I feel like he had some good returns, but he didn't have the speed to just
go.
Like once you hit the hole, sayonara.
Yeah.
But he was such a tough runner, so tough to bring down. But
yeah. Which is
I can see them maybe giving him an opportunity because he's gonna lose snaps at wide receiver. So maybe giving him an opportunity and not take his kickoff role from him. You know what I mean?
Who, Jalil?
Yeah.
Oh, you think he's losing snaps because of his injury or just in general?
I think he's going to lose snaps because in general. I think he's going to lose snaps to Nick and Jaden.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Nick might be the best receiver on the team.
Yeah, that's
and
not.
Burks was third team preseason all SEC. Nick might be the best receiver on the team.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think Farouk's tough to bring down, but man, I would love some speed back there, man. I'd love to see Reagan's back there.
Yeah. Zion.
Yeah. I'd love to see. I think Petaway would do well back there.
Yeah. I felt like I was watching him yesterday. I feel like he is still almost like Javonte was for a little bit, just trying to get comfortable with the speed of everything. Because I don't feel like we really got to see his speed on full display. Because I knew I was always talking about how fast he was. But even just watching some stuff when he get the ball last year, he didn't look as explosive. It looked like he was tentative. And I wonder if another year under his belt would change that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. See, Terry's got the right idea. Peyton Bowen, punt returner. And Terry, yes, I have recovered from my Vegas airport experience. Appreciate you joining the show. That was rough. Yeah. But PSS, I think we're going to be able to kick field goals. It's like Tyler Keltner is kind of the leader in the clubhouse, but you got to be able to make them. Like, I don't want to go full ninja here because I know he was like, I don't understand how NFL kickers miss kicks. Like, and he got murdered for it. Like, you're going to miss kicks. I get it, but the explain the hype around Jaden Gibson. So who was it? I think it was Seth Luttrell at the luncheon that they had where BB and Zach Alley.
It was Joe John. It was Joe John.
Joe John. Okay. They were like, what's one offensive player that's not talked about enough? And he immediately said Jaden Gibson.
Yep.
Last year, we saw the difficult catches. He just couldn't get on the field, Drake was a target hog the last half of the season. Once Andrew went down, Drake, I don't know if he had an over-under, but his best friend Dylan was going to make sure he got it. So, Jaden makes tough catches, 6'5". He's a dog.
Yeah.
If Joe John is saying, look, people need to talk about him a little more, I don't know. I think he's got higher upside than Farouk. So,
but we did see stuff last year. Like, how many tough catches did that dude make? Like, I understand the year before we talked about his drops, but he really didn't drop balls last year. When he
his
had
first 3 catches of the season were like all like posters.
Yeah, when he got an opportunity, he postered dudes like a lot. I think it was just about having who we had out there. Andrell, Jalil, Nick, his emergence. Maybe Jaden was only a deep threat last year. Maybe he needs to work on his route running a little bit. But as far as him, making tough competitive catches, he's probably one of our better pass catchers last year in tough situations.
Oh yeah, I was gonna look through my phone because I had like the 3 pictures of how crazy the catches were.
Yeah,
I remember tweeting them out where I was like, man, these 3 catches are crazy. And I went to look at my phone and my dad had texted me because this is actually his Yeti I'm drinking out of. I brought it to Vegas. He's like, that looks suspiciously like my Yeti.
Ah, that's hilarious. Jeremy, I promise it will be back by the time the season starts. When the season starts, we will bring back this or that. I promise. I know it's been a minute. I apologize. It's on me. I have been coming up with them as of late, but I know it's a fan favorite. It's coming back with the 2024 football season. You heard it here first.
The season's good for that kind of stuff because it's more structured.
Yes.
Like, we can go, like, shows in the middle of the week. So we review the game, tie up any loose ends, and then we talk about the next game, and then we finish with a little lighthearted this or that. So, the QB2 question is interesting to me because I think that the team is best served both now and in the future by having Michael Hawkins Jr. As QB2. Personally, I think Casey has been a productive college quarterback. He was not good last year before he got hurt. Was hurt for spring. He was recovering from, a pretty tough injury. Michael Hawkins was not. He was getting reps. He was showing out. He looks like he's really physically matured. So I think having a good defense is going to get you, give you opportunity to let Hawkins play. because you're not needing him to throw for 6 touchdowns a game.
Right.
And I think Hawkins is, part of OU's future, and Casey Thompson is not. Like, simply because he's out of eligibility. Like, no knock on the kid, but if I've got the option, I'm going to let the kid spin it that is going to be here for the next however many years.
Yeah.
And who's got the crazy athletic upside. I mean, I don't know. I think to this point, I believe I think mid-game it's going to be Casey more than a weak Hawkins. I think we'll see what we saw with Jackson and Dillon and Davis last year. I think that if a game gets out of hand, they'll play Casey. I think that if something goes wrong, they'll play Hawkins. You know what I mean? Because all last year we talked about Jackson's the backup. But Bevel kept going in. Well, when push came to shove at BYU, Jackson win the game. So, but yeah, Casey missed spring. Mike's got better upside. Mike had a really good spring. I personally would put Hawkins in.
Sorry, Trav. I'm still here. I got a couple guys that were playing in the gym. One of them got hurt or something, so I gotta go check on him real quick.
Jeez, that's a great start to the school year.
Right. The weekend. What do we have pulled up?
For the locker room and the QB room, need a veteran, and he's going to go through his pro day here. Like, he's in a place that he's comfortable, his family's comfortable. But yeah, Hawkins is the guy in my opinion.
I would agree with that sentiment. I heard everything you said. I agree with that.
Gunny's weirded out by having 2 former Shorthorns on the team in Casey Thompson and Brennan Thompson. Is it weird to you, Gunny, that they're both named Thompson?
That is kind of crazy, to be honest.
Same. Just saying. So, yeah, I think we see something very similar to last year, but, I mean, Hawkins has impressed. There's no reason to believe that he can't be ready to lead a defensively led football team down the stretch. Because, I'm not sure we'd be comfortable with Casey Thompson playing 6 games, and we think we're going to go beat Alabama and LSU down the stretch with him. Maybe. It's possible, obviously, but I think the upside of Hawkins is worth it. Let's see. All Travis's OU stuff in the background. There's a Beat Texas hat. There's Oklahoma versus the world flag. I got OU stuff around here. I got a Boomer hat on from Shop Double Team. That's my favorite. It might be my favorite OU hat right there. That is pretty. But yeah, the JP says, and not the host JP, says, I love the Thompson fan, played youth baseball with Charles as my coach and Kendall as my teammate. Followed Casey's career throughout. Good people. Yeah, for sure. Good people. He'll be good for the locker room. But, again, if push comes to shove and we need somebody to throw in there, my vote is with the kid. So, we got a few minutes left here. Not much longer. Let's see. Terry says OU has never had a combination of body types and skills. We legit could have 2 6'4". Jaden's 6'5", actually. So a 6'4" and a 6'5" outside. Farouk, Burks inside. Bauer Sharp. Yeah. I could see Arnold getting to 3,500 yards. I don't think that's crazy. I don't think they're going to throw the ball an outrageous amount, but I'm pretty sure that's around where Dylan got last year. So I know Dylan's had like 4 3,000-yard seasons, and they're all kind of in that like 3,100 to 3,600 range. But I think that's yeah. I almost think, I don't know. Farouk's just tough to place because he's so tough to bring down. You need to get the ball in his hands quickly. That's why they put him at running back last year. Like, he's tough to bring down. So he's just such a different receiver than Burks. I don't know. Everybody's freaking out about Cortez. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Apparently, he's visiting Florida the first game of the season. He's apparently tweeting about Colorado. I don't know. I know that the word would be, well, Emmett Jones can just replace him with somebody. But Cortez Mills is really good. So I don't want to replace Cortez Mills with anybody. So let's see. This is one thing we've got to get used to is spelling Dominic's name correctly. Not picking on you, PSS, but it's an interesting spelling.
It looked like Damonic, so I mean,
Damonic, but it's still Dominic. So pronounced like that, spelled like Damonic. So, or Damonic, as Tyler McComas liked to call him.
Damonic. Lord.
How's it feel you actually got to talk ball and not recruiting drivers? I'll tell you what, it's a lot less stressful to talk ball than it is recruiting because
that's a fact.
Especially in the NIL era, man, and the transfer portal era, and the current state of college football.
It's just refreshing.
It's just I can talk about things that are actually happening and not, speculative and I know recruiting's necessary, but I said this on Ghost Pod the other night. If I could change one thing about college football media, I mean, the lists are pretty stupid. The everybody's got to have a best of this, best of that, and top 10 this, top 10 that. But if I get rid of one thing in college football media, it would be crystal balls. They don't help anybody, not a person. They don't help a coach. They don't really help the fans.
But Trav, he got fonged.
Right. Like, we all remember when Dominic Williams committed live on the show, how fun that was. Imagine if every recruitment was like that. God, it'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
Man, I don't need much in Tahlequah, JP. I mean, I've been to Tahlequah a few times. We actually pick up we got our theta sauce made in Tahlequah. So every time I would go up there, I would just load up from stuff from their gift shop because they had all the pickled goodness that I could snack on. But
you remember when you used to do theta sauce giveaways?
Man, yeah, compliance jumped me about it. I couldn't use the final score of games. I couldn't use
it. They jumped you. That's for real.
I was like, dog, what are we doing? Like, I can't use the final score. Like you guys own the final score? Really? You trying to tell me that? Yeah. So, preseason polls are a bit obnoxious. Let's see. Terry, starting 5 on the offensive line. I think it goes starting from the left side. Jake Sexton, Fabechi Wewu, Branson Hickman, probably Garen Hatchett. Could be Hevo Zeta.
Yeah.
But probably Garen Hatchett, and then Jake Taylor is my right tackle. Let's see. What are you most excited to travel to? Man, I'll say LSU. Probably, man, LSU, Ole Miss is going to be so much fun, but it's 11 a.m. So you're kind of missing out a little bit on, some of the, raucous environment.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Everybody says Auburn's like the most underrated, environment in the SEC. I'm just not sure how good they're going to be. So I don't know. They're all going to be good. And I'm going to be on a Missouri pod that week, on the Missouri game, previewing to all the Meth Zoo fans.
Hey, listen, Boomer 129. Hush up with that apple tree talk, okay? Listen.
Hey, you made your orchard bed. You got to lie in it.
Listen, it's fine. Look, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all where we put the work in back here. You see it?
It's they got that. What was that? 2 years ago, you got that new?
But we're a small school, so it's a blessing to have something like this for sure. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I've been to a game at LSU, Terry. I went 2 years ago to LSU Ole Miss. It's an awesome experience. No doubt. Commenter JP, viewer JP, picks up the likes. Go like the stream, folks.
It's been an issue since time began, JP. I don't know why people just can't like the stream on the way in. And even if you gotta bust out a little early, just like it. I mean, everybody who's watching tomorrow, like it. Just we begin, 1,000 views, but 20 likes. Come on, man. I mean, we could do better.
Yeah, we could absolutely do better.
There will probably be apple orchard visits at another time, but it's not gonna be during OU Texas, because you know why? OU Texas is at 3:30 this year, so it's a better opportunity for me, because normally when OU Texas is, I host my state championship cross country meet on my campus. So because my wife's normally helping me with that, she'd be like, "Babe, can we go to the orchard I want to take?" And now she'd be, guilt trip me into it because of Maya, and so we be going so Maya can pick some apples and have a good time. I'm trying to be a good husband, good father. You feel me? But then I'll be watching the games, like y'all act like I don't know what's going on. I can tell you exactly what happened, what time, what time frame. But now because 1 year I thought that Texas might beat us, everybody want to jump down my back now, and act like I'm not a Sooner fan. That all I do is pick apples. Listen, Johnny Appleseed was a legend. That's all I'm gonna say.
All JP does, pick apples, pick Texas. That's what he does.
Oh my gosh! Don't trademark that. Leave me alone.
Pick apples, pick Texas.
Pick apples and pick Texas. Listen, I'm not picking Texas this year. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not picking them.
My mom liked the stream, so thank you, Sue.
Sorry, other JP. I apologize that they keep. I don't want them to put apple picking on your name, right? Because apparently that's a negative connotation around here. God forbid you pick apples with your wife.
It's not about picking apples. It's about when you pick them.
Listen. I watched the game. That's all that matters. It matters that I watched the game. I know the content of what happened. I was able to share. Last year, when we won, I was hosting also a state championship soccer game.
Oh, I thought it was track.
Two at once. No, it was cross country and soccer. I was hosting soccer in a different, because I'm like that. You know what I mean? So I was hosting 2 state championships at one time. I have one state championship 15 minutes away, and the other one was on my campus. So I went over to check in on the soccer state championship at the time when Dylan Gabriel was, we was in the fourth quarter and Dylan Gabriel was making that drive. I'm out here screaming my butt off, after my soccer team just lost state, so everybody like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry to be wrong." But I was going crazy because, I picked Texas and they proved me wrong.
Picks apples, picks Texas.
Listen, I love y'all. I know it's all in jest. I know y'all love me.
Yep. Nothing but love. Nothing but love. But
excuses and
I believe we got to wrap it up. I got a meeting with my new little gig tomorrow, JP. A big meeting. So I'm still working on. I'm waiting on my barber to get back into town from vacation.
Yeah.
So he can trim me up, cut me up, and then I'll film the announcement videos about my new gig.
Yeah.
So we'll just so I think I got to call it quits for this evening, folks.
Of course.
But I can't do so without first thanking all of you that are viewing, especially those that join in on the commentary, ask questions, pick on JP, show up every week. Love it. So, anyways, appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, JP. Good luck tomorrow at school. Yeah. Your first day. Are you going to take first day school photos out front by the mailbox?
I have to send you a couple photos. My school is they're mandating that the gym kids and whoever's in weightlifting, they have to wear a specific type of short, so they school shorts basically. I know that's pretty normal for everybody else, but we kind of let them wear whatever they wanted to last year, and it's just changing. Anyways, all the kids was whatever about it, and so they had me and my assistant AD take some cringy photos. I'm gonna have to show you, send you a couple pictures, Trav. But
perfect.
But that's what's going to happen. And then Sunday's my anniversary, so me and the wifey going to Louisville tomorrow night, and staying the
What's
weekend.
that drive like?
It's an hour and a half from my house.
Oh, that's dope.
That's it. Yeah, it's just right over the southern border of Indiana. I just hop on 65. It's literally an hour 40 minutes.
Well, happy early anniversary from myself and everybody in the chat. And yeah, I'll catch you guys soon.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Love you, Trav. Love y'all.
Yep.
See y'all next week. Boomer.